Wah! Hoo-wah!
Oh, it's been a long week. Yeah. Oh boy. It's been a long week, guys. It truly has. If you follow me on Twitter, what a douchey thing to say. But I have to, right? Like, it's part of the whole, I'm a podcaster trying to make this show a little bigger, so I have to fucking self-promote, and it's the weirdest fucking thing from a normal human being perspective. Like, if you've been doing it a long time, you're a comedian, or you're a actor, or you're a singer or something, you're doing a podcast, it's easy, right? Or you're a sports radio guy or whatever. It's real easy. But for a D-bag in a software company office at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's a little weird. So just trust me when I say follow me on Twitter and all this other stuff, or if you've been watching on Twitter or whatever, it gives me the little weird tinglies inside. If you notice, I'm wearing my awesome new, if you're looking at the YouTubes, wearing my awesome new Colt 45s hat. If you don't know and you like baseball, the Houston Astros were called the Colt 45s a long, long time ago. I don't know the story, but I can look it up. Let me see if I can find it for you. It wasn't on my list. I just started talking about it. So, in 1962, this is Wikipedia. In 1962, the Houston Colt 45s were an expansion team in American Major League Baseball's National League. In 1962 was the first season in franchise history. So, they started as the Colt 45s in 1962. Why did they change their name? That's what I want to know. Gives me the starting pitchers in 1960 BS, but it doesn't say why they changed their name. Huh. And they started in the National League, we know that. Well. I don't know. All right, that's boring. That's boring fucking podcasting right there. Somebody slowly slipping into the black hole that is the internet. And I was going to click and click and click and click and click and click. And I said, wait, there are people listening to this as I'm clicking and clicking and clicking. And that's probably really fucking boring. So I stopped myself. Speaking of stopping myself, oh boy, did I get wrapped up in a bunch of bullshit I have no business being a part of. Oh, hypocrite, man. I caught myself and said, wait a minute, what the fuck am I doing? I am becoming the exact thing that I have been bitching about for months. So, what does that mean? I gotta take this hat off because it is pushing on my skull. How you like the matte fucking hat hair? How you like that? Fucking whoever listening. So, yeah, so what does that mean? Well, I get pretty angry when I see something that doesn't fucking make sense to me. And that's one of the roots of anger. If you look up, I can't remember his name, but there was a guy who talks about the 5 reasons people get mad. One of the reasons is something doesn't make sense to them, right? And that doesn't justify the anger. That's just one of the reasons people get mad at its very root core. So what didn't make sense to me is Michael Smith. There's a video on Twitter going around about there's this old white lady, and she's like screaming at some black kids, and there's like 50 of these black kids around. I don't know what they're doing. They're at some pool. It's like an apartment. I guess they were being loud. And she came out and she's like, you guys are fucking being loud or whatever. And she's visibly angry. She's pointing and and doing all that. And then this kid picks her up. This is an elderly woman. And throws her on the ground. And then picks her up again and throws her into the apartment pool. Like, assaults her, right? And so there was this thing like, oh, this is racist. And then there was another guy who was like, black people can't be racist. And it was just like, oh, God, really? Come on. I don't like hearing that argument. I really hate it. I really hate it. Black people can be prejudiced and they can't be racist. Here's my motherfucker. It just makes me so angry because it makes no sense to me. Now, I'm not a black person. Hey, surprise. But what I do try to do is put logic with everything that I see. So, while I understand where that argument comes from, I think it's bullshit. So, my opinion between prejudice and racism is prejudice is a thought in your brain. So when you see a person, you immediately get a feeling, an emotion, something happening inside you that says that person's nice, or that person's bad, or that person's going to hurt me, or that person is trustworthy, right? Either way. And that's every single person you see. It is not particular to any race, creed, anything. Anytime I see somebody, I get an immediate feeling about that person, positive or negative. Racism is acting upon that against that person if the prejudice is negative, right? So, or it could be positive, right? I could be nice to a person because, or I could be nicer to a person because they share my race, and not as nice to a person because they don't. That's still racism, right? So, and it could go any way. The funny thing about racism is that it's that the source of racism is indiscriminate. It could come from any place. That is an action. Racism is an action. Being racist is an action. Being prejudiced is a thought. It's an internal process. Personal opinion. But here I am, 8 minutes into the fucking episode, and I'm talking about this bullshit, which is the same thing that happened to me over the course of last week, because I got just fucking caught up in the shit. And I was talking about fucking my personal fucking beliefs, and this is a sports podcast. It's about sports. I'm just, it's so easy to get fucking wrapped up in that shit. And the fact that ESPN, one of the main sources of sports material, is all fucking wrapped up in that shit, and they are celebrating the fact that they're wrapped up in that shit, and they are exacerbating issues with their stupid fuck talk shows, and they're firing all the people that are worth a shit and that actually care about sports and are reporting on fucking sports, and they're breaking down all the best shows that they have. It just kind of collapses all into one, and I'm thinking, well, this guy's a fucking idiot. I'm going to call him a fucking idiot. And then here I am, just as bad as the next guy. So I apologize. I can't say that I'll always be not guilty of doing things like that, but I'm going to do my best, right, to stick to what's going on in sports. And it's especially difficult because we're watching the fucking NBA, and who gives a shit right now, right? If you're not a Rockets fan, a Spurs fan, or a Washington fan, or a Celtics fan, you got nothing to really do. Because if you're playing against Golden State, you're not winning any games. If you're playing against the Cavs, you're not winning any games. And if you're a Golden State fan or a Cavs fan, then you're not worried about winning any games until the fucking finals. And this has been one of the key subjects on all the fucking talksters. What makes... It's simple, people. It's fucking simple. None of this shit matters until the two best teams play. That's it. And you're not giving anybody else a chance. What is the solution? Fuck the playoffs. Stop doing playoffs. I would love to see one season. You keep the season the same length. Include the playoffs so your players have more time to rest, but now every game fucking matters. Now you take the difference between the playoff ticket prices and the TV bullshit and you amortize it over the course of the regular season, which is now much longer, so you're ending up with the similar amount of money, and you have a lot shorter tournament period at the end of the season. All the games begin to matter. You can have a fucking tournament, great, but that shouldn't affect the regular season. The fact that it does totally washes out the regular season. Half the fucking league gets into the playoffs. Why does the regular season matter? All I have to do is not suck. All I got to do is play 500 fucking basketball. A little bit better than 500 basketball. If I win 50 games, I'm in. It's dumb. Well, if you just took the top 16 and stopped... That's never going to end. It's not going to end it if you take it at the top 16. It'll make the lower parts better, but it won't do anything for the Cavs. Remember, the Cavs were in this 2 seed coming into the playoffs. What does that tell you? They didn't give a fuck about the regular season. And they're never going to unless you put some emphasis on it. And the only way to put emphasis on it is to reduce the emphasis on the playoffs. And I understand that there's a lot of money involved and all that other shit. But when all the games matter, every game is tuned into, they're attended at the stadium. Your stadiums are filled up because every fucking game matters. Look at soccer. Look at soccer. Why can't we follow that model? Every fucking soccer game counts. Even if it's a friendly match, it counts on the international stage. Every game. Why wouldn't we do that? Why wouldn't we copy that model? Every game fucking matters. If you lose a game, it's going to hurt you. If you win a game, it's going to help you. During the regular season. No, we're Americans. We got to be different. If we're not different, we're not better. If we're not better, we're not American. I don't know why I made that voice. It sounded like a bad Barack Obama impression. Well, America, I'm gone. So, suck it. Anyway, speaking of the playoffs, what the fuck happened with the Rockets? What the fuck happened? No Kawhi. Old-ass Manu Ginobili running up and down the fucking court on you at damn near 40 years old. Puts a stellar block on James Harden. Choke. Sorry. You can defend fucking James Harden all you fucking want. They're giving him the ball, and he's supposed to be the fucking guy. I mean, what are you gonna do? You want to be the guy? Here you go, buddy. Here's the ball. The game's on the fucking line. You threw up fucking 2 turnovers. When you were defended by Jonathan Simmons. Who? What? Jonathan Simmons? Kawhi's not on the court? LaMarcus Aldridge is a nobody? Soft? And you can't fucking score and you're giving up the ball? You're coughing it up. Ridiculous. And clearly that comes from my homering, I'm a fucking Houston fan, but whatever, man. It's fucking stupid. The Celtics come out last night and put on a fucking show. They were keying in on Isaiah Thomas, and Avery Bradley fucking burned him for it, man. Al Horford fucking burned him for it. You got to play team defense. All this keying in on one guy bullshit doesn't work if you've got 1 or 2 other players that are decent. That's the problem with Oklahoma City. We saw it. You shut down Westbrook, you shut down the whole team. It's just almost impossible to shut down Westbrook, right? But if he's having an off night, it's not going to look good for that team. The Celtics have a couple pieces around. Every once in a while, Bradley will, if he gets hot, man, he's hard to stop. If he gets hot, he can drive and he can shoot the three. And Al Horford's a pretty fucking good scorer in the paint. So you got to watch out. He's mostly, protect the rim defense guy, throw some elbows, get in there. But he can score, man. He can. It's pretty exciting to watch those games. I just wish there wasn't a next step in which any of these teams who win have to play the fucking Cavaliers, because they're not going to win. They're not going to win one fucking game. It's a point of emphasis now. Are you going to sweep him, LeBron? I don't know. Are you going to sweep him? I don't know. Are you going to sweep him, LeBron? Fuck. Okay, yeah. Now I have to, because you bunch of fucks. If I lose one fucking game, I'm the worst player ever, and I can never be the GOAT. This whole GOAT thing is fucking dumb. He's not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. He's the GOAT. What a GOAT. It's exhausting to me. It's exhausting. The guy can never fucking please people. It's so sick. The dude has beaten the best team that's ever been put together on paper. And in practice, they've won more games than any other team in the history of teams. And he beat them. And that's not good enough for people. It's a joke. It's a different era. Then separate him. You're not saying that Michael Jordan's the greatest of his era. You're saying he's the greatest of all time. You can't have one and not the other. It's not fucking logical. If you're going to say Michael Jordan's the greatest of all time, could he have beaten a team that won more games than his greatest team ever did? That had way more shooters on a team, that had way better defense, that was running the floor, that could shoot the three 5 foot back from the fucking 3-point line? Are you sure? There's no way to prove any of this bullshit. That's why it's a stupid conversation, and that's why LeBron is the greatest right now, and we should be celebrating that. It's not about, oh, LeBron, I'm jerking him off. No. But the fucking shit's there. It's just like Tom Brady. Oh, well, if he played with Johnny Unitas and fucking Joe Montana, No. Tom Brady is the greatest right now. Why do we have to mix it up? It's not a fun conversation to have. It's not fun to think about. Well, and it's always this way. And I don't know if it's worse in Houston or if it's different everywhere else, but it seems like any time that we get into this conversation, inevitably somebody goes back to, well, if they were playing fucking Skippy Longbottom in 1952, they wouldn't have had a chance because, Skippy had a mid-range jumper that would fucking kill a man. What are you talking about? Elgin Baylor? What? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Yeah, I sound like the petulant fucking child and I don't respect the past or whatever. No, that's not it. I get all those players were great. But Pistol Pete was great in his time. But now is not his time. Now is LeBron's time, and KD, and Steph Curry, and all these great players. And we are so fucking caught up in the fact that, well, you can't hand check, and it's just a soft-ass league now. And it may be a soft league. I agree that it's a soft league, and we should make some changes to actually let these guys fucking play basketball and get physical. But that's not what it is. These guys are taking the rules that they have in the game that they play, and they are applying them, and they're fucking great. Why is that a bad thing? It's a dumb fucking argument. I hate having it, and that's it. Okay, Let me read you this fucking thing. This is hilarious. I'm going to read you. It's not that long. This article on ESPN, and then I will give you the punchline at the end of it. All right. On Monday, this is Chris Haynes, ESPN staff writer. I got no idea. I mean, good job for not getting fired. On Monday, Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green said he thought teams would give the Cleveland Cavaliers a stiffer challenge in the playoffs. On Wednesday after practice, he revealed that he took offense to the headlines some went with regarding those comments. I didn't say I was disappointed with their competition, Green said. First off, people always want to take a piece of a statement and then say, man, Draymond said the Cavs aren't playing anybody. They never say Draymond said Cleveland is playing great basketball. Fucking true. Fucking true. Fucking true. So everybody is always, this is continued quote, so everybody is always chasing a headline, the controversy. Watching ESPN is like watching controversial reality TV show. Fucking true, fucking true. It's pretty pathetic, fucking true, that that's what the headline everybody wants. It is fucking pathetic, isn't it? Earlier in the week, remember that he said that. So everybody is always chasing a headline in the controversy. Watching ESPN is like watching a controversial reality TV show. It's pretty pathetic that that's what the headline everybody wants. Earlier in the week, Green was asked his opinion on the Cavs and what they've been able to accomplish by going 8-0 in the playoffs. His response, I thought teams would compete a little harder. I just watched San Antonio, Houston. I like to watch good basketball. When you watch Cleveland play, you're only watching one side of good basketball. That's kind of weak. I like watching a good game. Not even necessarily that it's going to be a close game. I like to watch teams playing good basketball. When you watch them, you watch one team playing good basketball and everybody else do something. I don't know what that something is. So Cleveland is badass, and the other teams can't fucking give them any competition because Cleveland is so good. That is what Draymond's saying. Draymond is giving Cleveland a compliment. Cleveland plays so well that any team that they're playing looks like they don't play very well. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. This coming from a guy who is giving Cleveland competition on a regular basis when they play. When they play, it's always a fucking good basketball game. It's always, is this guy going to win or is this guy going to win? Or the fucking passing is really good, or the shooting is really good, or they're playing decent fucking fundamental basketball and they're fucking checking each other and they're throwing fucking pick and rolls and there's shit going on that you say that is good quality basketball. Right? That's what he's saying. Green is known for being provocative. And making controversial statements, but on this occasion he apparently felt what he said didn't warrant the outrage. Draymond is disappointed with who Cleveland plays. You think I care who Cleveland plays or how the other team plays? He said. But I am a basketball fan, and I know what I want to watch as a basketball fan. So I don't understand how all of these things are made so controversial. Not that it alters my daily life. I still go home and have fun with my kids and have a great day. But it's just ridiculous how everybody is searching for a controversy. Agree. 100% fucking true. The Warriors and Cavaliers are both undefeated entering the conference finals. They're each 4 wins away from meeting in the finals for the 3rd consecutive year. Green's argument was that there have been no headlines saying how well each team's rival is playing. He dared the media before walking off, and this is the best fucking part of this whole thing. So there goes your headline of the day. Draymond says Cleveland is playing great basketball. Let's see if that one makes it, Green said. You know what the fucking headline is? Draymond Green, critical of media. Says Cavs playing great basketball. Failure on ESPN. Wasn't up to the challenge, Draymond. They wanted to talk about how critical you are, and they're just fucking putting gas into that fucking flame. They're stoking the fucking fire. They're fucking looking for people, and they're looking for clicks. And dumbass me fucking clicked on it because I thought it was hilarious. Because I as little as I care about Draymond Green and him kicking dicks and how much of a fucking asshole he is, he's right about a lot of shit. At least off the court, right? I mean, kicking dicks is kicking dicks. I'm not going to apologize for him for that, but fucking dead on. Dead on. All right, so some changes happened. Switching to the NFL. So some changes happened with the fucking refs. Dean Blandino is retiring or quitting or leaving or something like that, which was the chief. He was the chief ref. He was the king zebra, right? So they needed to choose a successor, and Al Riverone is that successor. Al Riverone was his right-hand man, blobbity bloobity bloobity. Why was he the favorite? Because he's the fucking, he's the obvious choice. He was the second-hand man. He's had a lot of fun. He's been around for a long fucking time, right? So the difference is now instead of one executive vice president or senior vice president or whatever the fuck his title is, there's two. That's the big difference, right? So they've got this Yerk dude. His last name is Yerk. I don't know his first name. But so anyway, Riverone is going to be in charge of the replay bullshit, and the Yerk dude is going to be in charge of how no, I got that wrong. So Riverone is the top dude, and then he's got two little lackeys is how they're doing it. So it looks like that. So Riverone is the fucking dick in charge, and he's got two dudes that are really running the show, and they're just reporting to Riverone, making sure that they're doing what Riverone sees to be the right way. So there's two dudes. There's this Wayne Mackey bro, and then there's this Russell Yerk. So Yerk is going to be the vice president of replay administration, and Wayne Mackey is going to be the vice president of officiating, evaluation, and development. So they're splitting it up. How are the refs doing? That's fucking Wayne Mackey's job. What's going on the field and how can I help fucking do the replay shit? That's Yerk's job. So maybe it's a good way of going about things, and these refs will get better. All I want to fucking see is let's fucking make sense of some of these fucking rules. Can we just do that? Well, if you celebrate, we're gonna throw a flag on you. But if you fucking kill a man, it's all good. You're good. That's just football. That's fucking asinine, man. We don't know what a catch is. We're the officials. We don't worry about that kind of shit. Oh boy. Excuse me, guys. I got a little scratchy poo in my throat. All right. So the other thing going on in the NFL. I know it's not. I mean, the draft already happened and bloobity blobbity bloobity. But and there's not a lot of going on there. But what is going to happen potentially is that Derek Carr is going to get paid. And when Derek Carr gets paid, it's going to throw some wrenches into some fucking interesting fucking gears, right? So it's basically because Derek Carr was drafted where he was, not in the first round, his contract's not as long. So he can get re-signed a lot sooner than a first-round dude. So technically, it's even more advantageous to kind of fucking winkety, noddity, and go down on that list because you're going to get your big fucking $182 million contract 3 years out of the gate as opposed to 5 years out of the gate. And then you get the opportunity to get another one, right? It makes sense. So, yeah. So Derek Carr is one of these guys. So Derek Carr, let's see. So Andrew Luck is the highest paid guy right now at $24.5 million. But he's been playing fucking phenomenal, and he's gonna get paid. Jarvis Landry's one of those guys. Devontae Freeman's one of those guys. All these 25-year-old dudes that didn't get drafted in the first round are getting ready to get fucking stacked. And it's going to be fucking awesome. So what happens? Why does Derek Carr's signing throw a wrench into other people? Matthew Stafford is waiting to sign another deal. Hello. Matthew Stafford's going to get paid if Derek Carr gets paid because Matthew Stafford's put in his fucking time. So, if Detroit wants to keep Matthew Stafford, they're going to have to pay him commensurate with what Derek Carr is going to get paid, which is way over what Matthew Stafford is actually worth given his actual production. Right? Amazing. So if Derek Carr didn't go down at the end of last season, boy, oh boy, would that price tag go a little higher, right? It would go a couple million higher probably. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch. Let's talk about baseball. Baseball. The fucking Astros are going nuts right now. They're the best team in baseball. And I'm gloating because I am an Astros fan. Yes, I started with the hat at the beginning of the show so you would know later on, bringing it back around, gloating about my Astros. So there it is. Go Astros, go. Matt Harvey. You guys know about Matt Harvey? Matt Harvey's a fucking moron. So Matt Harvey dates Adriana Lima. Very sexy supermodel, right? So Adriana Lima says, Matt Harvey, I'm not in it for the long haul. This is fun. Bloobity blobbity. Matt Harvey takes it pretty fucking hard. Even though he's Matt Harvey, he is an up-and-coming pitcher in New York making millions of dollars, and he's worried about one chick. Don't get it. But whatever, he loves her or whatever he thinks he fucking feels. And he goes on a bender, and he misses a game, so he gets suspended, and he misses a start because he was out drinking and playing golf because he was sad because his girlfriend told him that she wasn't sticking around. What a douche. What a douchebag. And if you haven't seen the fucking video, the Mets put out a fucking video on Twitter about, it's like when Ed Helms wakes up in the beginning of Hangover before they have to go investigating where their buddy Doug is. Ed Helms, by the way, is totally underrated, and my wife hates him because Andy Bernard. But I love him because Andy Bernard. And the song in Hangover 1, the other two Hangover movies are worthless to me, right? I didn't really enjoy them. But the first one and the fucking song that he sings is probably one of the greatest fucking movie tunes. Like in that vein, right? There's lots of movies that have little songs in them like that, but this one is particularly fucking amazing. It's if you don't know it, you should watch The Hangover if you haven't seen it. But it's the one. What do tigers dream of when they take a little tiger snooze? It's fucking amazing. And then we're gonna find a best friend dog, and then we're gonna give him a best friend hug. Doug. Okay, but anyway, before I get all into it, yeah, so they put out a video making fun of him after everything had a little bit blown over. But that's the story. If you don't know about Matt Harvey and what happened, why he got suspended, he got sad because his girlfriend was sad. Anyway, this weekend, speaking of the fucking Astros, this weekend is a big, huge monster series between the Astros and the Yankees. This is the downfall of baseball, right? Of being a baseball fan when your team is doing well. Every series with any good team is fucking huge, and you gotta go, oh my god, I hope they fucking win at least 2 of these, because it's a 4-game series they're starting, and if they lose all these, and then they're gonna be behind in the standings, and this is such a good team, and the Yankees are fucking hitting the ball like crazy right now, and they are just, their run differential is 56, for God's sakes. I mean, Jesus. It's just dumb. They can lose games. They've lost 10. But in their last 10, they're 7-3. They're 21-10. They're fucking killing it. And they're not as good on the road, right? Which is great for the Astros because they're coming into town. But they're still pretty fucking good. 9-7 on the road is not bad. They're 12-3 at home, which is phenomenal. And believe it or not, the Orioles have just as good of a record, which are in the same division. So the American League is going to play out. Who the fuck knows who's going to end up? If you're not winning your division, you got no guarantees, buddy. And I know that's always the case, but with the Orioles being where they are, with the Twins close behind, you have to win your division to make it in the American League, and it's fucking awesome to watch. Not so much in the National League, right? So there's a lot of wild card spots open, I think, or still up in the air and still getting played for. I know that it's only May and we got a long way to go, blah, 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 blah. But if you look in the past, and there's a lot of stats on this, the guys that are up in the middle of May tend to be in the same spots at the end of the season in August, right? Or September, whatever you want to say. They tend to be those same teams because now they flushed it out. They are who they are, with the exception of some last-minute trades and additions going into the playoffs. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's some things that are going to happen. The Nationals are doing. They are crushing everyone offensively, right? They have 200 fucking runs scored. 200 in May. It's nuts. It's those guys they've got a 51 run differential. It's insane. And they're scoring like crazy. They're of course the guys who scored 23 runs on the Mets, right? The time that Noah Syndergaard went out and he gave up 5 runs in the first inning. My fucking fantasy team, guys, it's hurting because Noah Syndergaard was my top dude. And now I'm fucked. So, last week I had a decent week. I ended up tying. Last night was really bad for me because I'm just catching a lot of these fucking dudes I got a lot of empty spots on my fucking roster because of fucking things because of scheduling, right? And it's just hard to predict schedules, at all. It's really fucking hard. And I'm still going to fucking have some blanks in my lineup. You know what I mean? It's really fucking difficult to make sure that you got full shit going on. So, anywho, yeah, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm currently in 4th place. So I'd get into the playoffs, but I'm not super confident I would actually win. So, especially we got one guy who's just fucking killing it somehow. Well, he's got really good players. That's how he's doing it. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, you guys. He's just fucking killing it. So the top guy in our league is 35-15, and I'm 26-24. Right. So it's not that much of a gap. But if he keeps doing the things that he's doing, and I keep doing the things that I'm doing, that gap's gonna get a lot fucking wider, and that's not good for me. So we'll see what happens. A little update on Arya. Nobody has fucking donated. You guys have liked that Facebook post a bunch of fucking times and clicked on it a bunch of fucking times, but you didn't donate. Okay? I appreciate the likes on Facebook or whatever, on Twitter, all that shit, but donate. This is a real thing, okay? It's fucking hard. This family is struggling right now. They lost their daughter. I would really appreciate it if you could spend a little bit of time and $5 to donate. If you can't find the fucking link, it is on every one of my social media accounts. If you still can't find the link, go to GoFundMe and search for Aria, A-R-I-A, Agnello, A-G-N-E-L-L-O. Now you have no excuse. I'm shaming you, and you should feel ashamed. Don't feel fucking ashamed if you don't donate. But it would really help this family out, and I would greatly appreciate it. I'm donating money. Clearly, I'm donating time. I'm boosting that post, spending a bunch of money trying to get this started and putting a lot of effort into trying to get some foundations and some fucking charities involved and all this other bullshit. It's just hard, man, because when you don't have if you're not fucking JJ Watt, you can't get anything fucking done, man, and I'm trying. So, we're gonna do the best we can, and we're gonna continue to work, and I don't care how fucking long it takes. We're gonna help this family, right? That's the most important part. Okay, so that'll do it. Next week will be awesome. Hopefully, I forgot to tell you guys about my fucking trip to Cincinnati. Okay, before we go, Cincinnati was awesome. I was there for work, which wasn't awesome, but it was a lot of fun. I flew in a little early so I could catch the Reds-Yankees game. If you don't know, I'm a pretty big baseball fan, so I can go watch any fucking game, and I've never been to Great American Ballpark. Yankees-Reds, there was more Yankees fans than Reds fans. In the middle of the game, the whole stadium was erupting. Let's go Yankees! It was nuts. It was the craziest thing I had ever seen. I was in a foreign ballpark, and the away team was dominating. In Houston, when the Astros were bad, it was similar, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't where the whole fucking stadium was screaming for the other team. There was lots of other fans, especially when they played guys like the Cubs or the Pirates or anything. And because Houston is a very transient town with a lot of working guys coming in and out and blah, 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 right? But it's never been that way. At least I don't remember it ever being like that. Not so overwhelming. But it was a Monday game, so it could have been just, nobody showed up anyway. Cincinnati was a lot of fun. I don't do the whole bar thing or anything like that, but I did. I stayed at this place called the Marymount Inn, and if you ever go to Cincinnati and you have the option, fucking stay there. It's not cheap necessarily, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's like a 1920s old fucking cottage style house, and there's moose heads on the wall and shit like that, and they got an old British pub in there, and they've got a fucking great little community there, and everything's in little cottages, and they've got shops, and they got toy stores, and all kinds of fucking cool shit for you to do. My only complaint was at 11 o'clock at night, the fucking town's shut down. You can't do anything. I'm a night owl, so which makes it really difficult to get up and do this show, but especially when I travel, it's hard to sleep. You know what I mean? So you're in a hotel and it's just difficult. So the fucking TV was hidden by a painting. So there was a painting on the wall, and there was a little card there that says, "Where's the TV? I don't know. You gotta look around. What does that button do?" And you push the button, and this painting it disappears into the wall, and out pops the fucking TV. It's so fucking cool. I totally geeked out on it. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, so I'm taking advantage of my work travels. I'm hoping that it doesn't affect that I'm able to put out the podcast every week. I'm trying to plan around that. You might see a fucking podcast from a hotel room. I don't know. So I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that I stay on course here with at least once a week. I promised another fucking movie review. I know you guys dig them. Hopefully early next week I'll go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and give you a review on that. I just haven't had any fucking time to go to the movies. And that's been it. The band is been practicing, and all of the sports are being sports, and the family's the family. We got to do family stuff. We did the reason I got that is we did a Boy Scouts thing at the ballpark, and they had the ballpark store open. But yeah, I mean, it's and work has gone crazy right now. So I'm doing the best I can to put a podcast up every week, even if it's a short episode. But I will continue to do this. I really appreciate the support. I just got my second NFL player following me on Twitter. They're not like, crazy superstars, but they are legitimate NFL players. So that is fucking exciting to me. One plays for Kansas City, the other one plays for the LA Chargers. So, and they're good players. So it's pretty neat. If you have anything that you want to hear me talk about, if you have an issue, if you disagree with me on something, please contact me. I'd love to talk to you about it. I'll put you on the fucking show. We'll hook it up on Skype. We'll fucking go to town. Let's do this, right? At Rated R Sports Pod on Twitter, Rated R Sports Pod on Facebook, Rated R Sports on Instagram, Rated R Sports on YouTube. Check it all out. We're there. RatedRsports.weebly.com. Come to the website. Send me an email. Hook it up. See you next week. Hoo-yah! Woo-yah!